Welcome to the Deep Dive, the place where we sift through your sources to unearth the most compelling insights.
Glad to be digging in again.
Today, we're embarking on a really evocative deep dive into a powerful chapter from The Outsiders.
Mhm.
We're exploring how understanding can shift, the impact of grief, and those surprising connections that pop up even when things are, well, deeply conflicted.
Absolutely. And our mission for you today really is to pull out these universal truths.
Yeah, truths about how characters' views evolve, the psychological hit from trauma, and the complex family dynamics that hold things together.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so first off, Pony Boy's situation. He's recovering, right?
Yeah, he's stuck in bed for a whole week after everything that happened. And he's really chafing at it.
He's not the type to just lie around.
Exactly. He says he's not the kind that can lie around looking at the ceiling all the time. It's more than just being bored.
It forces him inside his own head.
Right. It's this internal journey he probably wouldn't have taken otherwise. He's reading, drawing, just trying to cope with being still.
And it's during this quiet time, this forced pause, that he finds something.
Yearbook.
Yeah, so does old yearbook. He's flipping through, sees a picture, looks kind of familiar.
Takes him a minute, doesn't it? Even with the name, Robert Sheldon.
Right, then it clicks. It's Bob. But he notes, it doesn't look a whole lot like the Bob I remembered.
Mm-hmm. That disconnect is immediate. It's like seeing a ghost, but
Mhm.
different.
What does that tell us about how we frame people?
Well, it's super revealing because Ponyboy's initial picture of Bob was so locked into that greaser versus sock thing.
Totally.
For him, Bob was just the sock who liked fights, the one with the rings, the nice sweater, that typical West Side attitude.
Mr. Super Tough.
Exactly. Those weren't just details. They were the whole picture,
Yeah.
the enemy.
But then these other voices start creeping in, things he'd heard before but maybe hadn't, really processed.
Yeah, Cherry Valance's view, for instance.
Who he respected. She said Bob was smart, sweet, a real person.
And Randy's perspective, too. Bob was his best buddy, someone who, Randy felt, was almost asking for someone to stop him.
So why now? Why do these different ideas start to come together for Ponyboy after Bob's dead?
I think that's the key. It's this synthesis, this merging of conflicting views. It shatters that simple binary he lived by.
Sock versus greaser.
Yeah. He starts seeing Bob not as just a sock, but as a person. Reckless, hot-tempered boy, cocky and scared stiff at the same time.
Wow. That's a huge shift.
It's a breakthrough in empathy, really. It tells us that understanding often means revisiting what we thought we knew, especially after conflict.
And recognizing that maybe the enemy has their own hidden struggles.
Exactly. Fears we never saw.
And this shift, this new curiosity about Bob as a human, it immediately bumps up against Ponyboy's own pain, doesn't it?
It does, because he starts wondering about Bob's family in a way he never would have before.
Like, did he have brothers? A kid brother who looked up to him? Or one always telling him to cool it?
Mm-hmm. And then that really cynical thought about his parents.
Right. Did they let him run wild because they loved him too much or too little? It's almost like he's projecting his own family anxieties.
I think he is, yeah. And it highlights how grief shapes our coping mechanisms, too. Look at how he talks about pity.
Oh, yeah. He hates it. He says
Yeah.
he'd rather have anyone's hate than their pity. That pity the victims of environment junk.
It sounds like defiance, but it's deeper, isn't it? It's about agency.
Wanting some control when everything feels out of control.
Exactly. Anger feels stronger, feels like doing something, even if it's just feeling hate. Pity feels passive, weak.
Which is such a human response. And right when he's grappling with all his heavy stuff about Bob.
The doorbell rings, basically.
Yeah, an interruption. And it's Randy Adderson, a sock, at his house.
Talk about unexpected. And notice Ponyboy's reaction to his own house.
Oh, right. He gets all self-conscious, lousy neighborhood, rundown-looking house. He admits it bugs him when his school friends see it.
But then the twist.
He says he couldn't have cared less what Randy thought.
It's fascinating, that distinction. Like Randy, being the other, is somehow outside the usual social judgment zone.
Or maybe the stakes feel different with Randy. Less personal judgment, more category judgment.
Could be. Meanwhile, Randy looks terrible. Really uncomfortable.
Yeah, burdened. He says he's there to check on Ponyboy, but also the hearing is coming up.
And he talks about his dad.
His dad seems like a decent guy, telling him to just tell the truth. But Randy feels awful.
He says, I kind of let him down, being mixed up in all this. And then that line.
It's the first time I felt anything in a long time.
Wow. Okay, so Ponyboy hears this. Someone he sees as having everything, talking about feeling numb and now feeling something awful.
Yeah.
How does he react?
His first thought, Dumbest remark I ever heard.
Oof. Yeah, that really shows where Ponyboy's head is at.
He's so caught up in his own fear and loss, he just can't compute Randy's pain. Like, what could this rich sock hack possibly have to lose?
It really makes you think, how much does our own suffering blind us to others, especially if we see them as privileged?
Absolutely. And then we find out what Ponyboy is truly terrified of losing.
It comes out right after. It's not about Bob, not directly. It's about his family.
Yeah. The hearing, the judge, the fear that Derry won't be seen as a good guardian.
And being split up,
Yeah.
sent to a boy's home.
That's the real nightmare hanging over him, Soda and Derry. He says they're all just silently counting off the days.
And that fear just overrides everything else. It explains so much of his tension.
It really does. And it leads to him defending Derry, doesn't it?
Fiercely.
Uh.
Despite all their fighting, he tells Randy point blank, Derry is a good guardian.
Makes him study, knows where he is, keeps him out of trouble, even if he yells more than their dad did.
It's this grudging respect, maybe. A recognition of what Derry's trying to do, the sacrifices.
Yeah. Underneath the friction, that bond is there.
And then, in the middle of all this tension and defensiveness, a little crack of light.
Randy's reaction.
Yeah. Ponyboy notices Randy looks genuinely worried about him. A greaser kid.
He thinks that was really funny, but then corrects himself. I don't mean funny. You know what I mean?
That little moment of connection.
Yeah.
A sock worried about a greaser going to a foster home. It just cuts through the labels for a second.
Shows that human concern can pop up anywhere, even between rivals.
But just as quickly as that connection appears, it vanishes. Because the trauma really hits Ponyboy.
Oh, man, yeah. His voice starts shaking, and he just blurts it out.
I had the knife. I killed Bob.
Chilling and totally untrue.
Randy knows it's untrue. He tries to correct him. Very calmly, actually.
Yeah, he's like, no, you were the one they were drowning. It was the other guy, the black-headed kid. Bob scared him into it.
But Ponyboy just doubles down. I killed him. Over and over.
And then the other denial comes out.
Johnny is not dead.
Oh, heartbreaking. He just repeats it. Johnny is not dead.
It's not just denial, is it? It's like his brain just cannot handle that reality. The trauma's scrambled everything.
A total self-protective delusion. He can't face Johnny being gone.
And Derry steps in then.
Right. Sticks his head in, tells Randy it's time to go. Protective older brother mode.
And he explains quietly to Randy, Ponyboy is still pretty racked up mentally and emotionally.
The doc said he'd get over it if we gave him time. It shows Derry's worried, too, underneath the tough exterior.
But Ponyboy doesn't see it that way at all, does he?
Not even close. His immediate thought, Derry's being cold-blooded mean, just like a sock.
Wow. He twists Derry's protection into an attack.
It shows how deep the trauma goes, how it warps his perception even of the people closest to him. He's primed to see judgment.
Yeah. Even care gets filtered through that lens of expecting the worst.
But then things kind of settle for a moment. Back to normal almost.
Yeah, there's that little mundane squabble.
Derry telling him off for smoking in bed, the room being a mess.
Just typical brother stuff. It's almost comforting in its normality, like life is trying to find its rhythm again.
And then Derry does something unexpected.
He calls him Little Buddy.
Which is Soda's nickname, usually. It's softer. Coming from Derry, it's huge.
A little crack in Derry's armor, maybe. An unguarded moment of affection.
And Ponyboy just accepts it. Sure, I'll be more careful. No fight. Just, oh, okay.
That tiny interaction says so much about the love underneath all the tension. That family bond, however strained, is the anchor.
Absolutely. It endures.
So, pulling this all together for you, the listener, what have we seen?
Oh, well, we've seen how drastically perspectives can change with new information, or maybe just the space to process old information.
Right, and how trauma can seriously warp reality, leading to denial, misplaced anger.
But also how family ties, even stressed ones, provide that crucial grounding.
We saw grief, heavy grief, and those surprising flashes of empathy across enemy lines.
Yeah. So here's the thought to maybe take with you, the really interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
How often do our own assumptions, our own labels for people, rivals, opposites, whatever, stop us from seeing their full humanity, their own hidden struggles?
That cocky and scared stiff reality that Ponyboy finally saw in Bob.
Exactly. What would it take for you to see past the surface sometimes?
Or to truly hear someone when they admit, maybe awkwardly like Randy, that they're feeling something for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. Think about how one moment of vulnerability, yours or someone else's, might just change how you see everything.